Okay, good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. My guest this morning is Dr. Adetokunbo Pierce. Dr. Adetokunbo Pierce is a convener, Reset PDP Lagos, or Reset Lagos PDP, and is also a former member of PDP National Presidential Campaign Council. Now, one of the reasons why he's our guest today is that the PDP is ahead of time, bent on 2027, and indeed, the PDP is set, as the doctor was telling me, to indeed take the mantle and win the presidential election. Now, that is going to take some doing. Perhaps that's why this early on we're looking at focusing on first of all, reconciliation within the party, because you can't go to war, so to speak, divided, and see what can be done of it. So, Dr. Adetokunbo Pierce, you're very welcome to the party. Good morning to you.
Thank you very much.
Now, as I said, well, in a station like ours, there are those who will say that, why are you bringing Dr. Adetokunbo Pierce? And we will say, why will we not bring Dr. Adetokunbo Pierce? We want to hear all sides of the issue. It doesn't matter what you think of as your own in-house, perhaps, perspective on the matter. So, to that extent, you are warmly welcome as we sort of explore the challenges.
You're working for Nigerians.
Indeed.
So, all of us have to be heard.
Indeed. So, you're warmly welcome. The reconciliation within the PDP, it doesn't seem like a very small job, especially as senior members of your own party, and I cite just off the top of my head, Chief Olabode George, who is saying that the reconciliation committee that has been set up is not going to work. I mean, as blatant as that. For whatever reason, diplomatic language was thrown overboard, and it was said that it will not work. Now, how disturbing is that to efforts?
It's quite disturbing that a senior statesman of that caliber will say things like that. First and foremost, I believe that the reconciliation will work. And it will work because most members of PDP, if not all, realize that unless we forget our differences, or rather mend our differences and come together in reconciliation, we will not move forward. And it is incumbent upon us to save Nigeria from the situation we are in now, with the state of the economy and state of security and governance and so on. It's never been this bad. Everybody knows that. So we must come together, and we will come together. I think that what is bothering people like Chief Bode George is they are trapped in the past. They are unforgiving. They don't want to reconcile. Anybody who speaks like that does not want to reconcile. How can you say reconciliation won't work? We just started the process. We were able to reconcile enough to win 13 governors in the last election, 42% of the National Assembly, not Lagos, National Assembly generally. Lagos was disastrous. But so we reconciled to a point, in spite of the disagreements within the party. Governor, Senator Seraki was able to reconcile to a point where we were able to function as a party and come second in the election to the incumbent government. So things are not as bad as they appear to be. But for people who say we cannot reconcile, I say reconciliation. Chief Bode George also said he would not work in the disciplinary committee of which he's a member.
Yes.
That he cannot serve under Ikimi. Now, that state of mind tells you This is a person who's ready to continue to fight the war. He's not ready for reconciliation. So therefore, I would not take his word seriously. I can tell you now that reconciliation will work because all of us in PDP are ready to put our differences aside, work together as a team, prepare to position our party to win the election in 2027.
How about the central plank of the problem, which apparently is that they say there are those in your party who say you can't have the chairman of the party and the presidential candidate of the party coming from the same zone. They say that is not done.
Chief Olabode George has always said that. And between you and me, he is 100% correct. Everybody understands that. But for him to bring it up now, I think it's irresponsible.
Okay.
But let me tell you what happened.
In the sense that it's not helping matters?
It's not helping matters because we want to reconcile. What he's talking about is not something for now because this is what happened in 2023. It was unfortunate that he was right. We cannot have, the constitution of the party does not allow the president to come from one place and the national chairman to come from the same zone. It's not done. What happened in 2023 was unfortunate. This is what happened. And this is the fact. This is an unfortunate issue. When we had the Congress which brought in Ayu from North Central, he said when he got in office, it's on video, it's on record, that if the presidential candidate should emerge from the North, he would step down in accordance with the dictates of the PDP constitution. Unfortunately, when Atiku Abubakar emerged from the North, Ayu did not step down. You know? So what Chief Bode George is saying now, to me, is relevant. However, he shouldn't be talking about, for that reason it won't work. How should we make it work so that we don't repeat the same problem in 2027? That's what we must be talking about. And it's very simple. Very simple. We must not let it happen again. By the way, what they should have done in 2020, of course, now we know with hindsight. You know me, I worked for Atiku because I believed in following the dictates of the party leadership. What happened in 2023 was that the party set up, the National Outcome Committee set up a 36-member committee to review the issue of zoning. And they decided there would be no zoning. Once that has been decided, Atiku was free to contest in spite of the fact that the national chairman came from the North. That was the unfortunate thing that happened. And then Atiku went, they sold him the form to contest, he bought the form. What were they looking at that point? They should have had it in writing. In writing. Sworn in court. That if a northerner emerges, whoever is the national chairman from the North must step down. Okay. So that you would not have to, we will not depend on his goodwill.
Okay.
So that's what they should do now.
Well, perhaps you can see why some people are feeling the way they are feeling, that you just said that maybe they should have locked it down, battened it down, and we're within one family. And if you have to go to that extent, there are those who now would think that you can't, we have a leadership, let me put it like that, but you can't depend on what they tell you.
Sure.
And this could be a problem. There are people who probably are leveraging on that. I think Minister Wike is one who is saying that it's unconscionable. These people, they can't speak to you and you go home and you sleep securely. That, just paraphrasing it a bit. Surely you can see that unless you're going to, it will require a sort of, if we were to use the car analogy, a complete overhauling of the engine.
It's not that complex. Look, when we have in September, we're going to have the NEC meeting. At that meeting, hopefully, they will discuss this issue of zoning. Once we have agreed on zoning, then we know what the zoning is, right? Once we agree that not the presidency is going to be zoned today, no. We must start with the national chairman.
Okay.
If the national chairman is zoned to the north, for instance, if, as we are now, the national chairman is from North Central, if North Central is allowed to continue another 4 years, then we know that the presidency must come from the south. But we shouldn't leave it to word of mouth, as we did in 2023.
Okay.
Have it in writing, have it sealed, legally sealed.
Okay.
Once we have that.
So no gentleman's agreement on
Oh
that.
my God. How many times have we had this? You remember when what led to the collapse of the PDP in 2015, after we lost the election, was because some people claimed that Jonathan had promised not to run again. But he said he never promised that. So he ran again, and they got upset and left the party. So we must realize, you know, I think it's Shegun Showumi who has been saying that our constitution needs to be reevaluated, reviewed, revised. Every now and then you must do that, even with the national constitution. The 1999 constitution, for instance, in Nigeria is a bogus constitution. It's a military constitution. It's not working for anybody. Therefore, all the problems, well, many of the problems that even this administration is having has to do with the structure of the country. You can't burden the center with everything. Can you imagine in America, you need money, you have to go to Washington. Everybody from 52 states, are you kidding me? It's not going to work. What about security? The center controls the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and the police. So, how are you going to secure the states? How are you going to secure the communities that make up the country? You can do it. So, structure. You must continually revise your constitution. America, the amendments they've had to their constitution before they got to this point, they are still even looking at more amendments after 300 years. So, we need to realize that we cannot continue this way.
Okay, so when Chief Olabode George is emphasizing things like one of the reasons why he's saying that it's not going to work in the PDP that he is a member of, because you have to look at things that happened before and during and after the election, be it throwing in all sorts of spanners into the works. How do you get everybody, get your own ducks lined up in a row within the PDP itself?
Well, I don't think in any family, in any organization, everybody's going to think the same way. But I think those who have like minds must work together.
Okay.
If Chief Bode George feels that it's not going to work, then he's not going to work, then he shouldn't be part of it.
Okay.
That's my feeling. He shouldn't be part of it. They should leave him out totally. Because for him to even say he cannot work under one person, on that committee, which is a member of the disciplinary committee, we have about 4 or 5 senators. We have 2 or 3 governors, former governors. Shekarau is there, I believe, former governor of Kano. He's there on that committee, under Ikimi. So if you say you cannot work, it shows that you don't want to be part of it. You don't want to be part of reconciliation. You don't want to be disciplined. So I would say that I'm not afraid at all. I'm very optimistic that the way we are going, once we decide on the issue of zoning or no zoning, clearly, and then put it in writing.
Okay.
Let people sign. Make it legal. If you go back, if you renege on this, you go to jail. Then I think we will move forward. We don't have any problem. The way we are now, everybody wants a change in this country.
But can we go as far as that? I mean, that last statement you made. If within this party we put these, guidelines down, you renege on that, you go to jail. Surely that was overstating it a bit.
That is legal issue. You cannot take someone to jail for that. But something that's been happening in PDP too, that people should go to jail for. They've been stealing our money. They've been stealing our money. Do you know, And we've been losing elections because of that. It happened in Lagos State, for instance. The national will send so much money to conduct election, pay agents, pay for publicity, refreshments, transportation, and so on. Chairman of the council will put all the money in his pocket. Election day, we have nobody on seat. We have nobody in the field. We can't pay our agents. We can't even move our agents to the site.
And
we
there
have
are
nobody.
no systems of checks and balances.
That is the point. Those things must be put in place. Now, anybody who steals money like that, I think should go to jail. So, you know, we have to be tough on these people. I am telling you, I told you before, what they do in the PDP, they can't try it in APC. Tinubu will not allow it. And that's why the party has been able to go from so little to so much and to be able to manage serious crisis. Mm-hmm. We must do the same. We must be tough. And we must, part of what we must amend is this. In our party, in the PDP, it appears that because we have had so many presidents, okay, you know, for 16 years we were in government, we one president after the other. So we now feel that the president is the leader of the party. That is wrong, because the president is only a candidate. His leader is the national chairman. If you are a governor in a state, your leader is the state chairman. You can't be the leader of the state chairman. The state chairman was elected by the party, or everybody. And he understands the party. You may have just come into the party, and then you elect you governor. You're supposed to serve us. You're not supposed to come and be leader of the party.
But it's become a sort of, as you said, maybe through long usage, people have sort of assumed that the governor, for example, is the leader of the party in our state.
Yeah, yeah.
And it extends, the president is the leader of the party at the national level.
The reason why Tinubu has been able to keep Lagos is because he never allowed that. If you're a governor, you are not the leader of the party. You know that. That's the same thing PDP must understand, because it's the right thing. It's the right thing. You cannot be leader of the party and be the candidate. You are just a candidate. You may win or lose. Right now, PDP doesn't have a leader of the party because they're thinking that they're looking to Atiku, who is no longer the candidate, to be the leader of the party. How is he going to be the leader of the party? The chairman of the party, the national chairman, who is the chairman of the National Working Committee, is the leader of the party. All the governors must report to him as the leader of the party. They are just members of the party. He is the chairman of the whole party. So we must put these things in order. So when Chief Odejoji is complaining, he has a right, but he shouldn't throw us back. This thing happened in 2023. Mm-hmm. Why is he thinking the way he is going, it will happen in 2027, but we want to correct it.
Okay, okay.
And we will correct it with the Reconciliation Committee and the Disciplinary Committee.
Okay. A caller from home. Good morning, Mr. George. Thank you for calling.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling.
Good morning to Dr. Pierre.
Yes.
Uncle Yori, you know, I'm not a fan of Chief Bode George. Recall that on several occasions I called on this program to remind Chief Bode George to check out of the country as he promised if Tinubu becomes president. It was as bad as that. But on this matter, Uncle Yori, I stand with Chief Bode George. You see, you can only make corrections or reconciliations on a template of truth, not falsehood. What Bode George said, if I recall, during the primaries of the PDP, in which Atiku Abubakar emerged, he said Buhari is from the north. He has just ruled for 8 years. You cannot have another northern candidate and expect the southerners to vote for him, so that the north will not continue to rule for 15 years unbroken. And for that reason, let there be a candidate from the south. Atiku bamboozled them, and they submitted, and he became the candidate. After the that one happened, he and Wike Group said, all right, now that the presidential candidate has emerged from the north, let the party chairman come from the south. That again did not happen, and that was what led to the Wike Group, which up to today are referred to as the integrity group within the PDP. What those people were asking for has not been addressed. And the reconciliation that the PDP is talking about now is not ready to address that one. So for as long as that principal thing is not addressed, they will not arrive at a genuine reconciliation. That's what the Baba Bode George is saying. So there is need to listen to the import of his submission before condemning it. What he is saying in this instance is that if you want to reconcile, go to the root cause of the matter. And if you don't go to the root cause, you will not come to the solution. I'm not a PDP man. I don't even like them. But that.
Okay.
The root cause of the problem is what I've explained already.
Yes.
Is that our constitution does not allow for the president to come from the north and the national chairman to come from the north. Chief Bode George was right. The G5 said that's what the G5 problem was all about. However, I blame these leaders for allowing things to get to a point where it will become too late. For instance, what he's saying in sequence is not correct. The national chairman was elected before the presidential. So therefore, we already knew that we had a national chairman from the north.
Therefore, the presidential candidate could not come
should
from
not have come from the north. However, they didn't stop it. They sold him the form. They allowed it to go on. And all of these people are members of the National Working Committee that allowed him to go on and pick up a form. Once that was done, it became too late. It became too late for anything else to happen. Other thing that should have happened was, why did people like Chief Bode George not insist that Ayu should sign an agreement before this happened, before the presidential? The man said he was going to step down. Why didn't you hold him to his word? And then you let him. By the way, what we are trying to address with the reconciliation is exactly what Chief Bode George is complaining about. Mm-hmm. The purpose of the reconciliation committee, the disciplinary committee, is to establish this procedure concretely so that we will not make the same mistake again. Why is he saying it's not going to work? Why don't you give it a chance? Let us begin the reconciliation. That's the purpose of the reconciliation, okay?
Okay. Luke in Port Harcourt. Good morning to you, sir.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for calling. Go ahead now.
Yes. The point I want to make here is that PDP really needs to debate. They really need to, reactivate PDP. I don't want to use the word that is harsh. They are not working. The point I want to make here is that experience, they think that occur again after this long while. I thought by now they must have learned their lesson.
Okay.
The reconciliation that we are talking about, the problem on PDP now is beyond reconciliation. It's for action. For action. You cannot tell me that you want to reconcile somebody who has already shown up the line. So I like to call people's name when I'm talking so that you know my direction. Somebody like Chief Bode George should be sacked from PDP. He has shown that he has rebelled. Why do I say so? something that we all are thinking on how to review the party. Somebody that is with the pregnancy inside, I'm saying that is not going to give birth, that is going to give birth to a dead child. These are the problems that we are talking about. I'm not pleased with the way PDP handle things in this country. Somebody like TVC News should be sacked from the party. We are all being known, we are all aware that after there's politics after election, before election, and during the election. How can PDP still allow Wike to be called a member with the politics election and he's playing it this way?
Okay, Luke. Thank you very much for calling in. Again, there's this, it's like going over the same ground again. He has said that he just doesn't like the way the PDP as a party handles matters. And one can...
He has made a point which is different from what we've been discussing.
Okay.
He has said that people like Body George who have implied explicitly that they are not ready to work for reconciliation should be sacked. Wike should be sacked. Okay? That's what he said. And you see...
Wike, by the way, has already announced that for 2027, he'll be working for the president, for President Tinubu.
Yes. So, you see, I agree that Wike should be sacked. Body George should be sacked. However, you know, in a party where you don't have a leader who is above everybody else, a symbol, one person, a symbol, it is difficult. Is it Atiku that is going to sack Wike and Body George? It says partisan. You say it's because they didn't work with him. They were not with him. The National Working Committee, the chairman of the party, national chairman, Damagun, if he says he's going to sack, don't forget, these people have been larger than life. It's not easy to sack a Wike. I would have agreed, but it's so difficult to say, well, are you going to write it? He has too many supporters within the party. If we attack Wike headlong like this and we don't allow him to self-destruct, which is going about now, he's already self-destruct. Everybody who's working against the party, who said they are going to support the opposition in 2027, they are already on their way out. Autumn is in trouble, is he not? They already said they're sacking him. They already gave him notice in his own state. Wike has no ground to stand on in Rivers State. Wike's whole career is in danger in Abuja. Therefore, we approach things differently in the PDP. That's why we cannot say we are sacking this person. If you dare do that, you confront Wike, that's what he wants. He wants a fight where everything will scatter. And everybody will. If we do that, the party will become dysfunctional. Once the party becomes dysfunctional, INEC will dissolve our party. That's what Wike is looking for. INEC will dissolve the party, and then all of them, all the supporters will go to APC. Then that is what they're looking for. I suspect that all of those people who are sounding as if they don't want reconciliation, they don't want peace in the party. What truth are you talking about? Everything is in context. You are talking about something that happened in the past, and you are saying you cannot solve it. Well, what is the suggestion that the Chief Body George is putting forward? I've given you suggestion. What we need to do when we have a meeting, look, he's saying the chairman is from one side, the secretary is from one side. What does that mean? He's still talking about sides. You know what the side is? The people who supported Atiku and the people who supported the G5. He doesn't understand there's no G5 anymore. There's only G1 now. And that G1 is Wike. Everybody else is gone. Autumn, probably Autumn is still with him. But Autumn, I don't know if he's still in the party. They've suspended him in his party. Now, Ekweazu, Ugwanyi, they are all in the party. And of course, you know that Makinde is working hard to put himself up to be a leader in the party. So I don't see any reason why we should be going back and saying this is not going. How can you say it's not going to work?
Okay. Let me take Mr. Yakub. Thank you for holding on. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. Shigori.
Thank you.
And good morning to your guest.
Yes.
For me, I think that last caller, with due respect to the last caller, I'm very sure he is not a politician. Fully is not a politician. If it is a politician, he will never utter a word that UK should be sacked, this one should be sacked. Forgetting that the game of politics is a game of numbers. But I will say that I'm not a fan of PDP, and then I will never be one. I'm very happy this thing is going on within their party, and then I have reason saying that. But the only thing that I'm shocked is that they are not even play the roles of opposition party in this country. I expected them to put the government in place. The government the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu that I voted for, I campaigned for, I still continue to support up to now, till tomorrow, because I believe the thing that is put in place now, we will not see the dividend now, but in the shorter period of time to this time, we'll begin to see it. Then I want them to put the government of the day on their toes, telling them what they do and then what they are not doing right, so that Nigerian citizens will benefit. Could you remember the day of Lai Mohammed, sir? I know that you remember the day of Lai Mohammed as an opposition spokesperson. And then he put the government of the day on their toes. Everybody were like, oh, Lai Mohammed, they are waiting for Lai Mohammed at that time. Say something today. The government will be beginning to defend what Lai Mohammed said, but nobody to say that now. They will not say they want to reconcile. What are they reconciling? What we say is saying is that if you want to, I don't know, maybe you listen to the last thing that Wike did in Abuja of recent. He said that if you want to do anything, follow the rules of the party. Doesn't mean the party doesn't have the rules. We can lay down on the rules, the law. What is the law of the party? If you want to do this, do this. If you want to do this, go and read our law. This is what our law says. Because before you can say this one is a leader of the, it is going to be within the constitution. Maybe the party organized quote unquote. I don't know what they normally call to do every year by year. So you should follow the rules of the party. That is what the drum that Wike is being. It is not saying that it's not going to be reconciled. And then.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Yakub.